An Ontario Legislative Committee made a stop in Niagara Falls to discuss proposed changes to the province's labour laws, which also includes an update to the minimum wage. So why do we need to actually have an increase in minimum wages here in Ontario?
Well, because there's 1.6 million Ontarians that are working basically at poverty wages. And these are people who want to work. They don't want to go on social assistance. They want to work. And they can't make ends meet because there is income inequality in Ontario. There's a lot of people doing quite well. Thank God the economy is at an all-time high, best in the G7 countries. Yet we've got people that have fallen through the cracks.
So the bill actually is not just about the minimum wage increase. There's actually a couple other really key factors, and what are they?
Well, one of the key factors is we're expanding the right of people to join a union. I know that the Conservatives don't like that, and there's a lot of big business people don't like that, but we're saying, you know, giving people the right to unionize in an easier way is their democratic right, that we should remove these barriers to unionization. So part of the bill removes some of these barriers that was put in by the last Harris government.
Members of all three provincial parties have been present at the committee hearings. The PCs have been vocal in their opposition to the bill.
This government in 14 years has made life harder, and now they're trying to make up for it in a few months. I mean, the reason, a lot of people are stretched and hurting. I mean, look what has happened to the price of hydro under this regime. Almost 400% hydro has gone up. If people didn't have to pay out of their pockets so much as a result of the decisions of this government over their mandate, we wouldn't be having these challenges with respect to people being able to meet their monthly obligations. I mean, this government has driven up the cost of living on essentials and things that were quite reasonable in the past.
But we want to see a business case. We want to see what the effects of these changes will be on the economy, what the effects will have on lower income families as well, and what the effects will have on job creators across our province. So we're going to be listening to people. We're going to be making sure that we're bringing their concerns forward when this bill comes up at first reading. We want to make sure that there's a proper analysis being done. We're concerned that, quite frankly, these changes are coming through very quickly. They're being pushed through without proper consideration being given to data, without proper consideration being given to impact. We want to make sure that that doesn't happen.
17 delegates stated their case either for or against Bill 148, including Mishka Balsom, President and CEO of the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce.
One of the key concerns is the speed at which it is being actually introduced. It is not that businesses in general are saying actually that the minimum wage should not go up, but that it's been done in 7 months for the majority of, and the remaining for another 12 months later is very quickly, and often there have been drawn comparisons to Seattle, California and others, but when we take a look at their legislation, it took up to 4 or 5 years. So I think businesses are asking that it being given more time than what this current government is actually offering.
So we actually have Alberta, who's going through a minimum wage increase next year. Do a comparison between how they're going through the process and we're looking at this process now here in Ontario.
So first of all, Alberta actually has given itself a little bit more time and has given the business community a little bit more time. But at the same time, they have actually offered a tremendous amount of concessions to businesses, and something that actually businesses and organizations in Niagara and Ontario-wide are looking for. Those could be in form of capital investment opportunities that are there, in form of tax cuts and other things. So I think we're going to the government and asking for specific concessions if this minimum wage is going through.
There are 2 more hearings before the committee starts to go through the bill clause by clause. It is hoped it will go into its second reading back at the legislature at Queen's Park in early fall. In Niagara Falls reporting for The Source, I'm Lori Taraba.